And show you how some of these colors look on paper. Here we're just going to take some cardstock. I'll start just with using an ink blending tool first, just to quickly kind of go in and do a background. Now you got to keep in mind, of course, with any of the new colors, you can use them in conjunction with any of the colors in the Distress palette, so feel free to do that. But here I just want to show you a quick little blended background using the colors. Here I'm just going to take some shaded lilac, and I'm just using my blending tool going around the edges of that, and then I'll take a stamp. Let's ink this up. Alright, and we'll stamp it right on this background. Oh yeah, look at that. That's great. That is beautiful, beautiful color. Love that. Alright, so we've got shaded lilac there. Let me just mist my stamp with a little bit of water, get some of that off, because of course I'm going to go to a light yellow color. So we're going to go to Squeeze Lemonade now. So Squeeze Lemonade now, because it is a light color, remember that when you're using a blending tool on a light color, it's not going to go onto that paper really, really deep. It's not designed to. The blending tool is just going to give you kind of a nice light application of color. Squeeze Lemonade is really going to be good for those sunny backgrounds as well. I really like this color. It's nice. Alright, let's go in, ink up our stamp with that as well, and we'll stamp it out. So even though it's a nice light color, you can still see how it shows up on that background. Really, really great for a spring palette. Alright, let's mist this off as well, just using a little bit of water. And we'll go into our third color for spring, which is Peacock Feathers. So this one, I know, this is going to be an instant favorite, I have a feeling. It's really, really a nice teal because, you know, a lot of the colors in the palette, like Broken China, colors like that, they have a lot more blue than Peacock Feathers. Peacock Feathers has that really nice teal look. And this one I'm just going a little heavy because I want to actually create some of the pattern from the blending tool. Just for this one, just because I love this color. Go in and ink up my stamp. And we'll stamp this one as well. Oh yeah, look at that. That is such a great color. So you can see really what a nice combination this spring palette of seasonal distress, but remember these inks. So we're just going to work with some ATCs. This is just some white cardstock, and I'll just show you a quick background. Just going and using these, just apply them right to my craft sheet. I'll just mist them with water. Now, because these colors are going to be really vibrant, they're going to make really nice backgrounds. You can see here that even though I've added the water to it, because Distress is reactive with water, the color only gets better. It really gives me some great backgrounds. I'm just going to dry that with a heat tool real quick. You can do this technique on a lot of different background papers, whether it's manila, coated, uncoated, specialty stamping. I like to just work on something porous for this one. So I'm just going to do a couple layers. Go in there. I'll wipe this up. But just to show you how great of a background these colors will make. Alright, we'll just dry that out. And I like to blot up some of that excess ink. I think that also gives you a really nice, look at that great water, beachy background. So of course, we can take this here. I'm just going to take a little die cut heart. This happens to be a canvas. Just going to add a little bit of ink to that right around the edges and give that a mist. Look at that. Fabric. Awesome. And then I'll dry that with a heat tool, but just to kind of show you the finished look of that. That's cool. Really cool ATC. So let me just show you a couple other backgrounds with the other colors, because it's really, really a nice palette. And I always think there's a really good balance in, of course, the Distress palette with these colors. We've got some bright colors in the bunch. We have, of course, Spice Marmalade, Worn Lipsticks. Those have all been really nice, bright colors in the Distress line. So this is Mowed Lawn. Love this green. Reminds me of like Limeade, I think. It does. Really, really good. So I'm just going to do another layer of that and dry that. And you can see this is what's really great about working with Distress. If you don't use it a lot with water, it's really a simple way to create some backgrounds. And of course, when you have these colors, you can of course combine some of the original colors in that as well. So here's our background for Mowed Lawn, and of course we cannot forget Picked Raspberry. No way. This one is something else. Nothing else like it. Wow, look at that. Really great. So I think this is going to add a nice punch of color to summer projects, or really any distress project that you do. And it's nice that it has all those same properties as the rest of the distress sign. Alright. I like how this one layers. So we can get some really nice hot pink tones in there. So there we have it. Picked raspberry, mowed lawn, and of course salty ocean. Also, and just show you how these colors will work on a project. I'll take that out. I've got some pieces that I've die cut. Let's start here with the Evergreen Bow. Just use my blending tool and go in. And what's great about this as well is that ability, because it is the same great distress, I can blend this out and I don't have to go super dark on this. I can leave some of that light area. And I think when you're doing a traditional Christmas project, it's really nice to have those traditional colors that, even though it's distress, it gives that nice vintage appeal. So there's our evergreen on those holly leaves. Look at those. Take our berries. How fitting. Let's take our blending tool and just tap on festive berries. That's going to be that real punch of red. And then on my background tag, I'm just going to go in with my ice spruce on this one. I think for this I'm just going to go a little bit of direct to paper and just swipe some of this right on the tag. Shake up, just got some perfect pearl mist here. Just going to shake that up and I'm just going to spritz this on. Now remember, this is distress, so it's going to have that reactive property. I'll go in, I'll dry this up. The great thing about perfect pearl mist is because it has that pearl in it, it's not only going to blend some of that color but give this a nice pearly sheen. Don't worry about that tag curling. It'll flatten back out. Just give it a second. There we go. Alright, and I just want this to be dry to the touch because I'm going to still go in and add a little bit of blended color as well. That's why I just did a quick direct to paper. Alright, so I've got that. Let me grab a towel real quick. Wipe this off of my craft sheet. Alright, so I've got my tag. Then I'm going to go in again with a little bit more of this ice spruce and my blending tool. And the reason I like to use the inks different ways is because obviously even with the same color I can create a little bit more dimension on my tag. I can have some lighter effects and also some darker effects just by either using the blending tool or going direct. So it gives it, to me this gives it a great icy wintry effect on the background. Pretty cool. So when you layer that, we've got that really awesome evergreen bough, and of course throw in a little bit of festive berries.